Hi there, it's Mr. Clark. Welcome to lesson MED.5.4 on harmonic development in the 1300s. First off, congratulations on getting this far. This is not easy material. And second off, we're through the worst of it. So this is just dealing with two harmonic topics from the 1300s that you would likely encounter in the music of the 1300s. So one thing to note is that pretty much all of the music prior to the 1300s that we've been looking at polyphonically, the main voice is going to be in the tenor. This was viewed as the fundamental structure on which the rest of the piece was built. But in the 1300s, you have composers like Machot that begin to put the melody in the top voice instead, which we continue to do to the modern day. So here's an example, Rose les Printemps, measures 1 through 11. I'm not going to play because there are 4 voices, but you can definitely look up a recording of this piece. But all these 4 voices have a specific structural function. The cantus is the main melody. So here we have do, 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 Sure, I could buy that as a melody even nowadays. And you could sing that alone. So previously, if you had an unaccompanied melody, then typically it would follow the pattern established by monophonic chant, and at the end, it would cadence a step down to its tonic note. Now, the main melody is being conceived as an upper voice, and if you think about your directed cadences, that means it's going to resolve upwards while the tenor resolves downwards from a sixth out to an octave. So that's why at the end we go da, 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 da. So then you could add an optional tenor to it. So here the cantus and the tenor work together as a 2-voice structure. And as expected, we have our major sixth going out to an octave. So then the triplum part lives in the same range as the cantus, while the contratenor, or the countertenor, resides in the same range as the tenor, which makes sense. And neither of those is structurally necessary, because we have our structural cadence in the cantus and the tenor. So both of these have the same stepwise resolution, this F sharp to G, that makes it a double leading tone cadence, resolving out to a trine. So you could have one or both of these, or even neither of them. They're not that structurally necessary. They're just decorations that you can add if you have additional people to sing the tune. Again, main point here, the melody is in the cantus now, and the other voices are built around that. The other thing to note from melodies in 1300s, previously we were saying that thirds were dissonances, but that wasn't true in England. English music often featured long strings of parallel harmony. So here's an example that features lots of parallel thirds. So here we have... So resolving out to trines. Trine. And here we have a third in that final cadence of this section. It's not the end of the piece, but we actually have a third instead of a pure trine. So English favored thirds, and that came over to the rest of the continent in the 1300s, so you'll start to see more use of thirds as consonances in the 1300s. If you do this with a chant melody when you're harmonizing in these parallel thirds, typically the original chant would go in the middle, in case you ever need to do that, in case you're ever kidnapped and forced to harmonize a Gregorian chant in the style of English composers in the 1300s. Now you know how to do it. All right, take care, and I'll see you next time.